Welcome, folks. I am Jabby Kuwait, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up?
And we are continuing on with House of the Dragon, Season 1, Episode 3. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you will see a cut-down version of our reaction because we're only allowed to show you a limited amount of picture-in-picture. However, if you want to watch the whole thing with us, uncut, uninterrupted, head over to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Jabby Kuwait. Whoa, this chair just gave way.
Oh.
There's a link. Jesus. There's a link in the description below for that Patreon, or you can become a member of this YouTube channel, and you'll get access to the entire episode, no cuts or interruptions, our reaction anyway. You will need your own HBO Max subscription, so you can open up the episode in an adjacent window to our reaction, and it's like you're watching it with two of your favorite pals from the internet. Now, if you join our Patreon memberships, you get access to a whole library of other watch-alongs we've already got up there, including stuff from all the Marvel shows, The Boys, Invincible, ACHARA's recent watch-alongs to Aliens, Predator, The Thing. There you go. If you're watching this on Patreon or memberships already, thanks so much for supporting us here. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up. Let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Here we go.
Okay. Oh, I just recognized the sigil.
House Valerian is coming for you! The sea snake will have your boxy fucking head! No, please! Ah! Fuck your whore mother and bastard father! No!
Dang, those are some awful crabs. No! Oh no. Oh, all right. Oh no, I think you're gonna get roasted.
Yeah, my prince! Save me!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no, your prince gives zero shits about you. Oh, she's like flambe human and crab. Okay. I was wondering if the fire arrows would do anything to the dragon, considering they're fire, but I guess they have pointy bits on them. That was intense.
Has your eyes, your grace? Yes, he does.
Oh, he got a new baby.
Well, we jump forward.
Yeah.
The crab feeder has dug in for siege on Bloodstone while his men sabotage our fleet under the cover of dark.
Not today, Tyler.
The matter of the stepstones is regrettably urgent.
It's been 3 years. It can wait another 3 days. Come, eat. Fortify yourselves for the journey.
Ah, she looks so
He's
different.
been busy.
Her heart broken for those.
Your Grace.
Did I say to stop? You may go, Samuel. You are to stay by order of the princess.
The Queen commands you to leave the Godswood at once.
Oh. Awkward. Power struggle.
The King wishes for you to join us.
The king has much to celebrate. He does not need me.
He wants for us all to be together.
Is it the king's command?
Yes, but
Then at once, your grace.
none of it needs be this way in truth, Rhaenyra.
She's been holding a grudge a long time.
Yep.
The whole of our family off to celebration and adventure in the King's Wood.
It is awkward, though. That's her best friend, or was her best friend.
What it is to be a father of a daughter.
But the crown is not at war.
The crown is at war, Princess. Though your father refuses to admit it, we've been dragged into it by your uncle and the sea snake.
And how have you served the man with late Lady Red Wine by eating cake?
Not afraid to tell like it is. Boom.
Yeah.
That's called a mic drop.
Is your own second named as grand as this?
I honestly don't recall, and neither will Egan.
Lord Jason Lannister.
Ah.
Wow.
On a perfect day, one could see clear across the sunset sea. I don't have a dragon pit, of course, but I do have the means and resources to build one.
Why would you need a dragon pit?
To house dragons, of course. I'd do anything for my queen. Or lady wife.
Wow, just like that.
So
huh?
forward.
How old is she at this point?
Not sure.
Old enough to have men interested in her, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, her dad was already like, oh, you should be having babies soon.
You're of age, Rhaenyra. Jason Lannister's an excellent match.
He's arrogant and self-serious.
Well, I
Yeah.
thought you might have that in common.
Oh, wow.
But you've refused me at every turn.
That is because I do not wish to get married.
Even I do not exist above tradition and duty, Rhaenyra.
Excuse me, Your Grace.
Super awkward.
You must marry.
Uh-oh.
Quick.
Come on, hot knight. Let's go.
It's your job.
Oh, God. I'm just worried that something's going to happen with them that's then going to cause a problem with the hunt with her dad, and then something bad's going to happen to her dad, and then she's going to feel really bad about it. Oh, no. Oh, no. Whoa.
Your Grace. How far? The droppings were found half a league to the east.
Still fresh.
Ugh.
The beast is upward of 35 stone, and we now have his trail. Before the dragons ruled over Westeros, White Hart was the symbol of royalty in these lands.
And on this day of all days. I've never been one for signs of importance, Your Grace, but if the gods did wish to show their favor...
He just has shit in his hand.
Yep, he did. He did it with his bare hand. Then he put his hand back in the glove.
He's just not like a warrior at all.
No.
He does not feel good about this. Whereas if it was his brother,
Oh, yeah.
his brother would be all over it.
He'd be living for this.
Castle Rock is a splendid seat. Rhaenyra may take her place there by my side without shame and feel herself well compensated for her loss in station.
What loss of station?
Yeah.
If you were to name young Aegon heir, Your Grace.
And when would I be doing that?
I had assumed, as he's your firstborn son, many of us had assumed...
Many of us, you say. Have your bannermen questioned my choice of heir?
Of course not, Your Grace.
It is your sworn duty to report rebellion stirring in my kingdom.
Rebellion? There has been nothing of the sort, Your Grace. I
did
only...
not decide to name Rhaenyra my heir. On a whim, all the lords of the kingdom would do well to remember that.
Oh.
Wow.
Nice one, Daddy.
Thank you for the gift.
Wow.
I feel like that's going to cause problems, though. But I love that he stood up for her.
I was not expecting that. I hope it's not just a drunken response.
Yeah.
But like...
No, I think he really does think that she is the best choice.
What do you make of Lord Jason's proposal? That man's pride has pride.
Nah.
It is not my wish to command her. I want her to be happy. There is another choice beyond Castle Rock.
What?
Oh,
Well,
Lord.
perhaps you might be more comfortable with one closer to home.
Oh, no. Daemon?
Prince Aegon.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Not
Might
weird
just turn too
by Targaryen standards, I guess.
But it would cease the endless proposals for Rhaenyra's hand.
He's laughing.
I came here to hunt. Not to be suffocated by all this fucking politicking.
You're the king.
He's really trying to secure his offspring being the most powerful.
He feels so alone there. He's like by himself. Everyone's out there with each other, having a grand old time. Oh gosh, you're gonna be that drunk while you go hunting. Is that wise?
It would seem to me the best match for Rhaenyra is the son of the sea snake, Sir Laenor. Some years ago, I counseled you to take his sister to wife. My reasoning remains the same. Laenor is of pure Valyrian descent, and he is the heir to the wealthiest house in the realm. The breach between your houses has not narrowed since I last spoke of it. It would do much to assuage Lord Corlys of any slights, real or imaginary.
It's pretty sound advice, I think. Oh no.
I guess you didn't know back then that you weren't supposed to drink while having a baby.
Yeah, no. But also, alcohol meant that the beverage was purified. It was probably safer than drinking water.
Do you think the realm will ever accept me as their queen?
I'll have no choice but to, Princess.
Uh-oh.
Who's there? Who's there? Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh no, oh no, oh no. It's very dangerous. What the heck? What are you trying to do? Dinner.
That wasn't the thing that the king was supposed to kill, was it?
No,
Okay.
no, this is a boar. Hey, hey, hey. Okay. I was wondering if she could fight. Clearly. Okay.
He is just like
Yeah.
cup after cup after cup.
He's
Golly.
just stressed out.
My obsession killed Rhaenyra's mother. And naming her heir would begin to set things right.
Oh, it did.
I never imagined I would remarry. And I would have a son. What if I was wrong?
Which part?
In
Naming her. Okay.
Yeah.
Like he was too hasty.
Yeah, because he didn't think that he would have a son, and then he did.
Yeah.
I mean, just because he dreamt it doesn't mean that, you know, it's anything more than that. But I think he's someone that is led by visions.
Well, I feel like a lot of people were back then.
Yeah.
You may not be white, Your Grace. He's a big lad.
One more time, Your Grace. Put a bit to your left.
Yeah!
Got it.
I thought he was going to get hurt.
Yeah, me too. Either that or that he was going to decide last minute that he didn't want to do it. But if he's someone that, like, pays attention to signs and stuff, the fact that that was not a white one isn't like the best of omens, I guess, because everyone was going, oh, the white heart is a symbol of royalty.
Yeah.
Is it the white one came to her? Dude, this is a sign. You're the queen. This is it. Yeah.
Wow. That's wild.
It's for you, Rhaenyra. She strolls in there like a badass, covered in blood, like, I just killed a boar, bitches.
Yeah, and it's quite different from
The way that her dad did,
yeah.
like, she got into it.
Do you not want your son to be king?
What mother wouldn't?
You mustn't ignore the certain truth that if Rhaenyra were to step over Aegon to ascend the throne, the realm would tear itself apart.
Would you have me raise a man to steal his own sister's birthright?
He's the firstborn son of the king. To deny that he is heir to the throne is to assail the laws of gods and men. You must guide Viserys towards reason. He'll never find it on his own.
She's still a pawn.
How are you feeling, husband?
The gods have punished me for my indulgences.
At least the wine was good.
Too good.
I was hoping we might discuss something.
I do not think she enjoyed Jason Lannister's company.
I do believe that Rhaenyra will marry Your Grace, but she must believe it is her choice to do so.
A letter from Daemon Velaryon. He's fighting in the stepstones.
This is a plea for aid. Then why not send it?
Because it is a war started by two malcontents, unhappy with decisions I made.
I only just noticed his fingers are gone.
He is a good man who loves his brother.
Well, if you truly believe that, my dear, then you possess a generous spirit.
What do you believe, Viserys?
That I am forever doomed to anger one person in the pleasing of another.
Then I pose a simpler question. Is it better for the realm if the crab feeder thrives, or is vanquished?
Wow, that's insightful.
Nice, yeah.
I'm sending word to Daemon. Aid is sailing to the stepstones.
Did he make call for help?
He would sooner die. But his king does not mean to allow that. Daemon is thorn enough in my flesh. Must everything be a battle?
If you refer to your attempt to marry me off to Casterly Rock,
I was trying to help you. Why must every effort on your behalf be resisted?
with Alicent Hightower's son. You have him in hand now. You have no further use for me.
Wow.
The lords of the realm gather like vultures to a carcass, hoping to feast on my bones.
I wish to see you contented.
You think a man will do it?
What would you have me do?
If it was for advantage, you would have wed Lena Velaryon.
Yep.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Strengthen your own claim. Make it yourself, as I did. Rhaenyra, I did waver, but I swear to you now, you will not be supplanted.
I really appreciate the DP's work in this episode.
Yeah.
The lighting is fantastic.
It is. That was a great scene as well.
And yeah, I agree with you. That was a really good scene.
The crab feeder and his men have no reason to leave those caves.
We must give them one.
Which man here will happily go to his death?
What role have you played in this council, Uncle, other than master of complaints?
Enough! I know King's Landing will not support Daemon. Why should any of us?
Oh, no.
Oh, here it comes.
Easy to talk shit when he's not there. Morale seems to be low.
Yeah, well, they're losing.
Yeah.
Prince Daemon, I bring word from His Grace Viserys Targaryen.
Oh my god. I was literally just thinking, don't kill the messenger, but then I'm like, why would he have any reason to kill the messenger? I thought he was bringing good news.
I interpreted that totally differently.
And 2,000 men to set sail from King's Landing to join the effort in the Stepstone. It is instead my hope that this aid will deliver the victory that has thus far evaded us. I shall pray nightly to the gods for your safe return.
What's he up to?
I don't know. He's going to parley with the crab feeder, maybe? Or do the thing that Velaryon guy was like.
Suggesting.
Yeah.
He looks kind of like a White Walker.
Oh, you're all gonna get it. Whoa!
Whoa!
Nice. Okay. Oh gosh. I thought the archers were on his side initially. I wasn't sure. But he's crazy. So he's just a one-man army at this point. Yeah, eyes to the sky, my man.
Yo, damn.
Oh, okay. Oh. Oh, yeah, it definitely got you. Yep. Can you find her? Okay, here she comes.
Oh, wow, all of them coming out. Well, I guess
that's
the plan worked.
Isn't it? Yeah. To draw them out. All right. Ah.
It worked.
Here she comes. I thought his family couldn't ride dragons. Oh no, that's right, they can ride, because his mom is a Targaryen.
Oh, I guess the arrow in his leg didn't mean much. It was running just fine.
Oh! Behind you. Whoa. What's he got?
Got him.
He just chopped him?
Ugh. Yuck.
Whoa.
Damn.
Wow.
You know, I had this interesting thought this morning because as I predicted when at the end of, I think it was episode 2, I was talking about how I was connecting more emotionally with this show than Game of Thrones. As I anticipated, there were some people in the comments going, oh, and they had thoughts, which was fair. I get it. Like, if you had an emotional connection with Game of Thrones, just because I didn't doesn't mean you wouldn't, right?
Right.
One of the things I realized was as it got into the later seasons, it started to feel a lot like footnotes because you're dealing with so many characters, you're like jumping from story to story to story, and each episode goes by so fast because you're only getting like a few sparing minutes with each character before it's got to, you know, the hour's over.
Yeah.
And so the benefit of this is that we're still in the beginning stages, and so we still get to spend a lot of time with these characters, even though it's jumping forward considerably between each episode, right? What we're getting with them is presumably the meatiest of their stories.
I appreciate the time jumps because the way they're doing it makes sense. It's capturing the important moments in their lives, right? Last episode ended with King Viserys getting married, and then the next one starts with, oh crap, he's got a 2-year-old son.
And a baby on the way.
And a baby on the way.
Yeah.
And so it's like, oh, okay, this is where we're going. And it's important that he's got a son because that is the thing that is going to disrupt Rhaenyra's claim to the throne.
Correct.
Yeah, I liked that. I thought that was really good.
I don't know how to say his name. You'll have to correct me. I really like Paddy Considine's acting in this. His performance is really good as this king who is just, you know, so much is weighing on him all the freaking time.
Yeah.
And now he's got this decision between like what he had spoken to his firstborn daughter and to now this pressure of, well, you've got this firstborn son over here and everyone thinks that, you know, well, he should be king because he's the firstborn. Tradition.
Yeah.
Tradition, right?
Tradition.
And so he's like, no, I'm going to honor my word. That's a lot considering the magnitude of that decision, the potential fallout, and how it's going to reflect on his kingdom and his legacy and all that stuff, and how, you know, what her life is going to be like, because he's thinking about what her future is. He keeps talking about, you know, you need to get married, multiply, you need to have kids. I'm thinking of you, daughter. There's so much going on in his mind, and also his own, what I read as a certain degree of self-doubt. Like when he was walking up to the, and you called it a bad omen because it wasn't white. What was that, a deer?
A heart.
A heart. I didn't know that was called a heart until you just.
Well, no, because that's what they said in the episode.
Okay.
I think it's a type of deer.
Okay, gotcha. I didn't even clock initially until you mentioned it, the off color, right? That it wasn't white.
Yeah,
and the white one showed up for Rhaenyra.
For her, yeah, no, I only
Rhaenyra,
paid attention to that because they were making such a big deal out of it in the beginning because they were like, oh, we've seen the white one. It's such a good omen because the white heart. Before the Targaryens came to Westeros, that was the royal emblem, right? Was the heart, the white heart. And so when I saw it and I was like, that doesn't look white, I immediately was just like, all the little cogs in my brain were turning. And then it was really cool that they called back to that with Rhaenyra and the white heart kind of acknowledging her as the rightful queen. I thought that was really, really nice.
Well, there's a lot of emphasis on symbolism, you know, and throughout these 3 episodes, more than I've ever noticed in Game of Thrones. Not to say it wasn't there, I just didn't notice it in Game of Thrones quite as much as I have here.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's symbolism, there's prophecy, which I think was really important back in those times, right? Like, people really paid attention to those things.
Well, not just that, but I mean also as, like, if I was reading this book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, there's a lot of symbolism just from the narration or from the narrative's perspective.
Sure, yeah.
The narrator's perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's just like stuff as the viewer, you can go, oh, this could mean this could mean this.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I've been doing this since episode 1. Going back to what I was, where I started off, Paddy Considine's acting to embody all of that, whatever it is, and stuff that that's not overtly spoken, but you can sort of read it and get a feeling from his performance, I thought was really, really strong. Especially that scene that you remarked about at the table when he was talking to Rhaenyra, what his ambitions are for her, and he's just trying to help her out. And then he took, what's her name, her former best friend, when he took Alicent Hightower's advice, and was like, look, just pick someone of your choosing then, That's fine. Yeah, but I just need you to get married.
Well, the reason why I really liked that scene as well was because, we saw him earlier on in the episode just kind of struggling with all of like being a king and how she was giving him a lot of grief, just kind of like teenage angst. In addition to that, all of the just frustration at having to follow all the rules and the decorum of being a princess and being in line for the throne and all that. But what I really enjoyed about that scene, it was like a really real moment between them as father and daughter, and just kind of them speaking really plainly, and how Rhaenyra just unloaded all of the feelings that she'd been holding on to, like, you're going to replace me, I don't mean anything. And he's like, no. And I was kind of filling in the gaps. I'm like, oh my God, like, he really loves her.
I thought it was touching.
It was really touching.
Yeah.
It really moved me because I'm like, he's just being a dad to his daughter in this moment. It doesn't matter that they're royalty or whatever. It's just dad and daughter right now. And I really appreciated having that scene.
I wonder how that scene would have gone if it was an Asian family. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that throughout this episode, the trouble at home. I can't even get my daughter in line. I'm like, if it's an Asian family, it's totally, the dynamics are completely different.
It's like, choose your weapon: slipper, clothes hanger,
or
chopstick, hand.
I really thought that Rhaenyra and Sir Criston Cole were going to have some kind of a romantic thing. I almost felt like it was being hinted at one point when they were around the fire, but it never came, which I was glad it didn't, because it sort of subverted my expectation.
Yeah.
Whatever I was expecting to happen, it went the other way, and I was like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Well, I think this episode subverted my expectations in a lot of ways, because I thought that, oh, for sure, something's going to happen to the king in this episode, and like, I think it was just because I had it in my head. I had the whole situation from Game of Thrones in my head with Robert Baratheon and how he died in a hunt.
Right.
And so I was like, and so I just thought, oh, is this going to be a thing where he is going to be killed by this hart, and it's going to be like a bad omen because he was he was killed by the symbol of royalty and all that, but then they didn't go that way, and I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah. That's cool. Thanks for not doing the obvious thing, maybe.
And then it's interesting that Rhaenyra was attacked by a boar and she killed it.
Yeah.
I understand that this predates Game of Thrones.
It does.
But as the reader, Game of Thrones predates this, right? And so it's just sort of, it's interesting to consider that. Like, that's how that king died, and here's where she survived that attack.
Yeah, yeah. And it was also interesting, like what you pointed out during the reaction, was how they showed the difference between Rhaenyra and King Viserys hunting, because he had everyone helping him. Like kind of how when you get a baby doing something for the first time and you're like, here, I've set it up for you. Let me hold your hand and like help you to feed yourself or whatever. And it kind of felt like that with him, where they're like, all right, King, like just poke him in there and you've got him. Whereas she just like absolutely slaughtered the beast by herself, and it was really messy, but she did it by herself.
Well, what this show is showing us so far is that she's a born leader and a born warrior.
Yes.
And she is so much stronger and smarter and more fit to be ruler than her father so far, is what it was what this show is saying to me.
Yeah, and I mean, he even said so himself. He said that within the family, there have been so many dragon riders, but there haven't been many dreamers, and he definitely classifies himself as a dreamer, and that's why all of those dreams and symbols that he sees when he's asleep, right, they have so much of an impact on him because he's just, I don't know, I guess he's like softer and more poetic, more sentimental than the other members of his family.
Yeah. I kind of got wigged out when Rhaenyra was being hit on by the Lannister because I was just like, he looks like he's 3 times her age or something. Because she looks so young.
She does look so young,
and,
yeah.
I mean, he's a proper grown-up in that scene. And I'm like, that is bizarre to me.
Well,
and then it got
also-
even worse with the baby, with the suggestion of her being betrothed to the baby. I'm just like, what? This is so odd. And even the king's reaction to it was perfect. It amused me.
I guess I was just kind of like, oh, okay. I guess to me that option seemed less gross than the Lannister. Okay, don't judge me, but like,
all of it's weird.
It's weird. It's just that the Lannister guy was so slimy, so full of himself, so pompous and arrogant. Like everything that Princess Rhaenyra said, I was like, ew, gross. And then with her brother, I was just kind of like, well, you're Targaryens. Like, that's not outside the realm of possibility. You guys have been inbreeding for generations, and it's kind of the thing that you prefer to do anyway. So, like, in terms of keeping the family tradition, I was just kind of like, okay with it.
When Daemon received the news from his brother, and he just sat there, like, in his thoughts.
Yeah.
I thought he had a completely different reaction in his brain.
Me too.
I thought there was a certain degree of, I completely misinterpreted it, but that's what makes his character so, to me, kind of diabolical and interesting, because you thought things were going one way, because like he's at his lowest point in the battle. I mean, that's how it appears, right? I mean, there's a chance of mutiny, morale is low, and here comes this kind of like that scene in the Two Towers when the elves show up.
Yeah, it's like woohoo! Help is at hand.
Yeah.
This is gonna turn the tide. We're gonna win now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, cool. We can wrap this shit up and go home. And he beats the messenger. I was like, whoa, that's messed up. But it makes sense with his character because his character has so much pride.
Yeah.
And executing the plan that was suggested by the guy who hates him was so fascinating to me. I'm like, so you went with that?
Was that guy's plan, or was it the nephew or like the young guy's plan? I thought it was the young one's plan.
Well, one of them. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
What matters is what was suggested was that Daemon is the
bait.
The bait. Yeah.
Super risky plan.
Yeah.
By the way.
But he went for it, and I mean, they pulled it off.
I mean, like they weren't wrong when I think it was the young guy who was like, no, I know someone who's crazy enough to do that.
Yeah.
Daemon.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, he is totally mad enough to do that and pull it off.
To what you said earlier, I think that you're right, that this jumping forward in time, it's good because we don't care about all the build up to this war.
Yeah.
We are jumping straight into like the thrust, the best part of the action in terms of like what's going on in the politics and the war and whatnot.
Yeah. I also really appreciated the change in Alicent Hightower as well, because she's really become King Viserys's confidant. I thought that maybe she was still kind of being controlled by her father, especially in that scene where her father came in and was kind of like, convinced the king to get my grandson to be named as the heir.
Right.
But then straight away she goes to the king and talks about something else entirely. Oh, you should help your brother, and oh, you should let Rhaenyra
She's a good person.
decide for herself. She is a good person. Like, I do like her, and I'm hoping that she can help guide the king in a positive way and not end up being used by her father for his own nefarious needs.
Well, I mean, that's still on the table.
Yeah, I know that's still on the table.
Overall, I really like this episode. The second episode and third episode, I like way more than the first episode. This is consistently like improving with each episode for me. I'm really enjoying where this is headed, and it's got me very curious and excited to see where this is going next.
Yeah, I think for me, this episode moved slowly, but then there were some really amazing scenes and amazing scene work and just like really great story points. So I don't mind that it's kind of taking its time, because it's just allowing us to just feel more for the characters, like you said, emotionally, to just connect with them more and feel the story unfold.
It's interesting that you said it felt slower. I mean, I suppose I can see why you felt that. I didn't feel that at all because of what you just said a second ago, which is the connection to the characters and the scene work being so good and whatnot. I was invested in it and excited like not excited, but like I was just pulled into that world.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely pulled in, but, you know, I felt the length of scenes, but I didn't mind it because it meant that we got to have those beautiful moments, like between the king and his daughter.
Sure.
You know, like that was my favorite scene in the whole episode by far.
No, I get you.
Yeah.
I guess I had a different experience in that regard. I didn't feel the length. I was into it in a way that I was, that didn't... Not bad.
I thought that maybe you were feeling the length a little bit because I saw you check the time.
No, it was just the technical stuff. For those of you that don't know and you're still watching, there's like so much technical shit that goes into recording one of these things. I have to make sure everything is fine. So anyway, dumb technical shit no one cares about. So you guys, thanks so much for hanging out. I'm Jabby Kawai. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.